Hello, my name is Heather Cairncross and this is video number 4, helping you to claim your PPL income. Now, as I said in video 1, there are people who offer this as a professional service, and if you're a busy person, that's a great option. But if, like me, you're sitting here on a January morning and the rain is lashing against the window, then maybe you've got a bit of time on your hands and you might like to try it yourself. So, I'm assuming you've got a PPL membership. You can get that from their website. This is pplut.com, and as you can see on this tab, I've logged in already to my account, and I'm going to show you different ways to search for repertoire. Now, apart from looking up maybe CDs or particular artists that you know you've sung on sessions for or played on, the other way is to look up people that you knew were on the session with you and who may have already done their PPL claims. This is quite a good way to do it. It's a bit sneaky. But anyway, for instance, anybody who's been on a session with me, and the reason why I'm making this video is because so many people have asked me this question, you can look up my name and you can copy all the claims that you think you were singing on alongside me. So here we go. We're in the My Claims window and we want to go to Make a Claim. It's not repertoire search as you'd think. So we go to Make a Claim. Now, normally, if I hadn't got this little button here clicked, it would come up on basic search, and I just want to demonstrate for you how basic search is not a great tool. So we're just going to put my name in, Heather Cairncross. Okay, you think, okay, I played on a session with Heather Cairncross, so I'm going to look for repertoire she's sung on. So let's go to search and see what comes up. Now, as you can see, there's only one page and it's all things from my own CD. So I've registered that as a product. Hilariously, I haven't actually claimed, and even though there's a couple of tracks that have been played on the radio, so there is some income there, I need to claim those. So I'm just going to click select for all those tracks and I'm going to move them to my claim basket. And I showed you what to do after that step in videos 2 and 3. So in this case, I'm not going to go to the claims basket because that's something I can do later. I'm going to search for more recordings. Take you back to that page. Don't use the back button because that'll take you right back to the home page. So go back to search form. Okay, so that didn't get us very far because we know that I've got a lot more tracks than that registered. So I'm going to go on to advanced. This is always a good place to start, and you can set that as your default here by clicking this little box. So before, on video 1, I was looking at products. That's really useful if you know, for instance, you've sung on a Mike Oldfield album and you wanted to claim all the tracks on that album, or at least the ones you were singing on. I'll just show you, if you put it onto products, that restricts what you can search for, as you can see. If we change it back to recordings, it makes it a bit wider. The twirling stopped. There we go. Now you can see there's lots of other categories. What we're going to go for here is contributor name. So this is the name of somebody who contributed in some small or large part to this recording. So let's put contributor name, and I always change this field when it's caught up with me to includes the words, just in case I misspell it, spell it in a different way. We saw on video 1 that people's names, sometimes people are registered on certain tracks with their middle name or without their middle name, different spellings, so it's always good to cover all your bases. So as you can see, I'm using caps lock. I find that quite useful. It's come up with a suggestion here, Heather Cairncross without capitals, but I'm not going to choose that. I'm just going to click on the white because I find that's just more successful. Now, as you can see, we've now got all the tracks that I've claimed for, 10 pages of them. For instance, if you were one of my colleagues who sang on a Capella Nova album, let's have a look what the what piece that was. I'm just interested because it didn't have the title. Products linked to this recording. Ah, there we go. It's the Alpha and Omega CD. Yes, so if we wanted to, then we could go to Alpha and Omega, and that would give you all the tracks from Alpha and Omega, but we're not. We're going to go back to the search results because I'm getting a bit sidetracked, just trying to show you how the way you've got to think a bit laterally. Now, for instance, if you were somebody who sang on that Capella Nova album, then you could go through and how would we select that? Oh, that's right. You need to get over to this little box, empty boxes here. So, and you might want to tick on all those. You think, yes, well, Buster Rhymes. I don't think that's on the Capella Nova album. We might want to click on all those and put them all in our basket. As you can see, it doesn't like you doing a lot of things. It gets a bit confused. So, you'd looked at this page and you knew that you'd sung on all those Capella Nova tracks, but you don't think you sang on Buster Rhymes, and maybe you didn't sing on the Bjork track. Maybe you did think that you'd sung on this one from One Little Indian, so you'd click that. And then when you've done all of that, all of the ones on this one page, you click on Move to Claims Basket. And at that point, and I suggest if you're doing a big page like this with lots of different tracks, you'd then carry on and finish the claim. You'd attach the evidence and you do the whole thing, just because otherwise it gets completely bogs you down because there's so many tracks. And it's a good idea to just keep a track of what you're doing, so you know which ones you've claimed for, which ones you haven't claimed for. And if you're going to do a great big whole 3-day marathon of this, then try and write it down as you're going, so it'll help you. Or just do a screen printout when you get to the shopping basket page. So I hope that's been helpful. This is how to find tracks by copying people who are a little bit more efficient than you, or maybe are a little bit more desperate than you, or have a bit more time on their hands than you. So we just click on to Move Claims to Basket, and I'll show you what happens. Then let's go to the Claims Basket and just see what's in there. So if you remember, I put all my album tracks and just clicked a few more. So those are all the album tracks, and down here are the ones from Capella Nova, and there's the one from Bjork. So you can look at video too, and that would tell you what to do next. So I hope that's been helpful, and I'm going to do another video now on how to find tracks that have been made out of old film recordings. Thanks a lot.